You're listening to the Platform Launchers podcast. I'm John Stange, and it's great to have you with us this week, as always, because here we talk about building and growing and monetizing your online platform. We also talk about this idea of taking your passion, turning it into a platform so that you can earn a paycheck. I will give you a quick announcement before we get into this week's subject. A very exciting project just released this past week. Several of our members together collectively, along with me, just released a book. And the book is titled How to Turn Your Passion into an Online Platform. And we give you the blueprint that each of us have used to turn our passion into an online platform. That book is available right now. If you go to Amazon.com, you'll be able to find that book in paperback or in ebook or in audiobook edition. It's called How to Turn Your Passion into an Online Platform. And if you don't remember that title, just search for my name, John Stange. Just search for that on Amazon. Right now, as of today, it's the first book that comes up when you search for my name. So I hope you'll have an opportunity to check that out, and you'll actually get to know some of the members here in our membership community as well. They shared some very helpful and insightful things that they have done to turn their passion into an online platform, and we're happy to share that with you. Now, related to online platforms, this week we have an interesting subject to discuss because we're going to be talking about how to create an online coaching business. Now, we've talked about coaching here on the podcast before, but this week I want to give you the nuts and bolts of actually how to set one of these things up, because the coaching business, or the coaching industry, I guess we could say, has experienced tremendous growth in recent years. It's been driven by increased demand for accessible guidance and personal guidance. People want this sort of thing in all kinds of areas. I see fitness coaching. That's something I was actually just looking at somebody's site the other day who is offering fitness coaching. Career development. It's another popular topic. Wellness. All sorts of things, right? Fitness coaching, career development, wellness, lots of topics. Launching an online coaching business, honestly, can be a very fulfilling and very profitable strategy to utilize if you're trying to build up your online platform and if you're trying to monetize your online platform. And so what I've done is I've put together basically like the nutshell blueprint of how to start a coaching business. So if you've thought about doing this, if you've thought about adding something like this to your online platform, if you want your online platform to primarily be monetized by coaching, this is going to give you a great place, a great framework to start with. I know people who earn a full-time income just from online coaching. And I don't know if you have thought about, what you could possibly charge as an online coach. When I first started doing any sort of coaching, I charged $60 an hour. And my thought when I first did that was, I thought, well, that's $1 a minute. If I'm coaching someone for an hour, that's $1 a minute. That sounded fantastic. And then after a little while, I bumped it up to $80 an hour. And I was curious, is this something that's still budget friendly for people? And I had no loss in coaching clients as a result. At present, I charge $250 an hour and could probably charge a little bit more than that as well, but just the same, that's what I charge at present. You can earn a full-time income just from coaching. I have one friend who charged $1,000 an hour for his coaching business. I have another friend who charges $2,500 an hour for her coaching business. So my point being, as I'm saying each of these things, is basically the sky's the limit. If you would like to develop a coaching business, you really could, depending on your subject, your authority, the ways in which you choose to serve people. If you're offering value to others, you really could earn a healthy income sharing your counsel, sharing your advice. And I recognize that those numbers that I just listed are very expensive to some degree. And in other respects, I look at it and I say it's a bargain. And the reason people are often willing to pay a little bit more of an elevated amount for really good coaching isn't just because they're happy with that price, but they're also happy with the time it saves them and the overall money it saves. Just think about some of the business ventures that maybe you've tried in the past, things that you have attempted to do at different seasons of your life, and how much those things cost you. Wouldn't it have saved you some money if you were able to just spend a couple $100s and hire an experienced coach who could save you from mistakes and pitfalls and wasted money? I think most of us can identify that if we did that sort of thing at different seasons, it would have saved us more than it cost us. And that's why people are willing to pay a healthy amount for coaching, because it saves time and it saves money and it prevents mistakes. So if you have a subject matter that you love talking about and that you're an expert on and that you want to help others with, this is going to give you, I'm just basically going to give you 10 things that will help you build a blueprint for an online coaching business. So let's do this in steps. I'm going to start with step one now. Step one is this: very, very simple, very basic. Define your niche. Define your niche. So the first step in creating this successful online coaching business is identifying what that niche is, right? And your niche should reflect your expertise. It should reflect your passion. And it should also reflect market demand. It needs to be something that people demonstrate they actually want. And so instead of trying to appeal to everyone, and that's a mistake I sometimes see people make, don't try to appeal to everyone. Focus instead on a specific area where you have the capacity to provide unique value. Let me give you a few examples. I already gave you a few examples of just a few minutes ago, but let me give you a few more. So fitness coaching, this is one of the main ones that I'm seeing. This is a very successful niche when it comes to coaching. People offer fitness coaching related to strength training or with weight loss. That's a big one, especially around this time of year, or other physical options, stretching, different things like that. Fitness coaching, fantastic niche. How about this? Life coaching. We have a member here in our membership community who added a life coaching component to her business some time ago, and it ended up being one of the most profitable things she ever did. So you could help people if you're doing some life coaching. That could be maybe helping them overcome some mental blocks or some hurdles related to the season of life that they're at. It could be related to goal setting, mindset shifts, things like that. Different challenges or trials they're going through, you can coach people through. It's a very profitable and popular niche. Another popular niche is career coaching, especially when it comes to people that are at a season of life where they're sensing that maybe it's time to make a career change. Some people have been, I actually had a conversation with my neighbor, and he recently retired. And he told me when he retired, he said, I just retired from this many years serving in this profession, but I have to tell you, I never honestly figured out what I wanted to do with my life. I just did that job because it was comfortable and it was something that paid reasonably well. And so I just kept with it. Now I'm retired from it, but I never had any sense during the years that I served in that capacity that I had figured out what I was supposed to do with my life. And I think to myself, somebody who speaks like that would be a perfect candidate to speak to a career coach. I think that's something he would have enjoyed doing some years ago if that was something he realized was an option. But when you're doing career coaching, if that's for you, you could help people write resumes. You could teach them how to do that. You could help people figure out what their skill set might be while they're searching for a job. You could help people refine their leadership and communication skills, all of that. Another aspect of coaching, another important niche that seems to be rather popular, is this idea of health and wellness coaching. So sometimes that could be related to nutrition or stress management or sleep optimization. These are all different ways people have niched down where they've gotten very specific. And so that's step number one in this process. If you're going to develop an online coaching business, get very clear about your niche. Who specifically are you for? You could even say, who specifically are you not for? Research that niche. Talk to people. Get some ideas about where you should dial in, and then branch from there into some of these other steps. Step two that I want to suggest of this list of 10 that I have is this: develop your coaching offer. So again, once you've developed or defined your niche, what you want to do is just create a very clear and compelling offer, which includes the kind of coaching you're about to provide. And there's a variety of ways that you could do this. So your coaching offer is going to have some style to it, the kind of coaching you want to provide. There may be some kinds of coaching that you would prefer to not offer. and then other forms of coaching that would be a very good fit for you and for the audience that you're looking to serve. So options include, when you're trying to figure out what kind of offer you're going to offer to other people, options include one-on-one coaching. That's the most common form of coaching. And you just develop some personalized sessions tailored to specific needs that people have come to you for. One-on-one coaching. By the way, a lot of coaching in that capacity is done via Zoom, but I've also noticed that many people prefer phone coaching when it comes to some of these things because they feel a little bit more comfortable talking when they don't have to see somebody face to face. So it's a form of one-on-one coaching that's more listener based or listening based, I guess we could say. But one-on-one coaching, that's one kind of offer you can certainly provide. Another kind of coaching is group coaching, and where you work with multiple clients at once. I actually recently did this related to the subject of marriage. I had several people look for marriage coaching all at the same time, and I said, why don't we all do this collectively? And I made this into a group coaching experience. The cool part about it was it fostered community, it fostered collaboration, and it helped different people develop some new friendships. And I thought that was really cool. Another way you could offer coaching, and this sounds like a product more than a service, but hear me out on this, is through online courses. And what you do is you package some of your coaching into pre-recorded lessons that are useful for just self-paced learning or self-paced discussion. I'm actually in the process of putting something together like that related to marriage, specifically for couples that are engaged, that are about to get married. And that's something I'm about to put together. And in the coming months, I'll have that put together for people. But that could be served. It's a form of coaching that could actually be served through an online course module. One other way that group coaching takes place, and this is something that I get to do every Tuesday evening, and that could be through a membership program or a membership community. And here in the Platform Launchers membership community, what we have is online access to resources and live Q&A and meetups and lunch and learns, a community forum, all sorts of things like that. Training where we get together and just have Q&As and stuff like that. It's a very useful form of coaching. And the cool part about it is sometimes my role is to give good counsel, and other times my role is to just facilitate the conversation because there's wisdom in the group. When the group gets together, there's group coaching that takes place in the context of an online community. So, number two, just to reiterate this a little bit here, you're developing your coaching offer, and your coaching offer includes the kind of coaching that you're about to provide. All right, number three on my list here, if you're going to set up a coaching business, is this: set up your business structure. So you want to make sure that what you're doing is legally compliant. You want to make sure what you're doing is well organized. And there's a few, excuse me, a few things that you can do that will make that a little bit easier for you and a little bit logical, a little bit more logical and a little bit safer too, just from a business standpoint and from an ethics standpoint. By the way, coaching is an unregulated industry, unlike counseling. That's why we're talking about coaching, not counseling. Counseling is typically regulated, and there's sorts of, all sorts of state laws and things like that. But you still, as you're setting up things for your coaching business, there are some things that you can do that are legally wise to do when you're setting up a coaching business. One thing that you would be wise to do is to register your business. So you want to choose a business name and then register it somehow, either as a sole proprietorship or an LLC or some sort of legal entity like that, depending on your location. Most people, a lot of people actually file that as an LLC, so that's something to consider. Something else that you want to be mindful of, depending on your niche. So this really depends on your niche. Some don't require this and some do. You may need to establish certain certifications to establish your credibility. You may need to obtain some of those, I should say. So if there's any licenses or certifications you need to establish credibility, make sure you get those things in place as you actually set up the business. Now, from a financial standpoint, I'd encourage you to do something else. Set up a separate business banking account so that you could keep your business finances separate from your personal accounts. A lot of people don't do that in the early days of creating their online platform because they feel like, I'm not really bringing in all that much money yet. Maybe this isn't something I need to do. I would encourage you, if you're actually taking this seriously and setting up an online coaching business, also take the step to set up just a business banking account. Do that. That's something that will be beneficial to you. And something else that you might want to consider doing, get some business insurance so that you protect yourself from potential liabilities. Lord willing, you never need to use it. But if you do need to use it, I think it'd be a good idea for you to have it. All right, number 4 on my list is this. And this is really important. This is something I talk about a lot, but that's create a professional online presence. When you have a strong online presence through your website, podcasts, whatever, wherever you're producing content, that can be very critical for attracting clients. Give you just a couple quick notes on this. I have a lot of other content on the Platform Launchers website. You can find it in blog posts. You can listen to the podcast and hear all sorts of other details. But let me just give you a few quick things that will help you set up a strong online presence that looks rather professional. First of all, build a website. Some people wonder, do I need a website? I could just use social media, right? Well, you can do whatever you want. I would recommend that you build a website that includes things like an about page, services, testimonials, case studies, anything like that, that is just an easy place for people to go and find out all sorts of information about you all at once. They want to find out people that you help to see if the people you help are like them. They want to hear some testimonies or read some testimonies from people that you have actually helped. And I would include, if you're setting up a website, I always tell people, make sure it has a blog, because you can improve SEO, search engine optimization, very easily if you have a blog, but you could also use that to share valuable content and build your online authority. Highly recommend it. Other ways to create a professional online presence: use your social media, set up different accounts, focus on the platforms where your audience is actually active, and then just consistently post helpful information. Don't spam with sales or anything like that. They always say when you're using social media, use social media to give, not to sell. So don't sell on social media most of the time. Just give on social media. But then if you have the website set up, then people hopefully will come back to your website and check out your services. All right, number 3 with that is use email marketing. As you're trying to set up your professional presence, email marketing is invaluable. I consider that literally more valuable than almost anything else that I do in my own business. Give things away for free that are valuable to people. Encourage people to sign up to be on your email list. And then when you have new offers, you can share about those via that email list. But it's all something that contributes to your professional presence online. All right, number 5 in this list here. I'm going to go through the remainder here a little bit quicker than I went through the foundational ones. But number 5 on the list is this: develop your marketing strategy. There was a time I did not value marketing. Now I very much value marketing, because you can create something valuable. I could create something valuable. But if nobody knows it exists, how is that going to help anybody? So a few quick things I'll say about marketing and developing a marketing strategy. My favorite way of marketing is through content marketing. I just create content. I do it every day. I've got 4 podcasts. I've got 2 blogs. I've got email lists. I've got all that. I'm creating content. I'm just, putting videos out there, audio, typing different things and putting them out there as blog posts or different articles. Content marketing is one of the most effective forms of marketing I've ever used. But you could also do different things with your social media. You could get together with other people and do some partnerships and collaborations where you visit their platform. Like tomorrow, I'm about to be on another platform tomorrow. I'm going to be on I'll give a shout out because he's also a member of Platform Launchers. I was invited tomorrow to be a guest on the Profitable Writer podcast with Kent Sanders. He's been a guest expert for us here. And as I do that, what's going to happen is that's going to help promote the different things I'm doing while I'm also serving his audience. So partnerships, collaborations, very effective way to market. Client referrals, super effective way to market. I love if people ever recommend anything I do. That is more effective than many forms of marketing. And then doing free workshops and webinars to introduce your content to people. That's a super effective way to market as well. Experiment with that group of things. You'll find that certain ways maybe work better for you than others, but do some experimentation with it. All right, number 6, if you're going to build a successful online coaching business, is this: invest in technology and tools. There are pieces of tech and different tools that will streamline your operations and make your life so much easier. Let me give you a few of my favorites. You've got scheduling software, so that's things like Calendly. That's one of the most popular ones. I've also heard of people using Acuity to make booking sessions very easy. People just sign up for that. It automatically goes to your calendar. Very easy. Video conferencing platforms. That's another very effective tool, right? Another effective piece of technology. I pay for Zoom. There's also Google Meet. There's also a meeting function inside Kajabi. And so I find that helpful. There's also learning management systems that are effective tools. So you've got platforms like Teachable, platforms like Kajabi. You could use those for online courses or other content that you want to deliver that way. Payment processors. So you set those up with PayPal and you set that up with Stripe or similar services. I use both PayPal and Stripe, but you might have something else that you prefer to use. Those are just very easy to use. You can also use some client management software like HubSpot if you're trying to track client interactions. Just pick a few of these tools that suit your budget and suit your needs. I will tell you, as I just listed all of that, I'm able to do most of the things that I need to do as far as the back end of running my online coaching business and everything else I'm doing, basically with just one tool. I could literally do just about all of it with Kajabi. And I recommend Kajabi until I'm blue in the face, but I literally have built some very successful platforms and businesses using that tool. It's got everything under the sun, but you could put a combination of these tools together. Just have the software in place that you like and that you find affordable, right? You want to make sure it's affordable for what your present budget happens to be. Number 7, if you want to develop an online coaching business, very simple. Deliver exceptional value. I always want people to feel, if they ever pay me for something, I want them to feel like they got way more than they expected. My goal is always to over deliver. That's something that I often hear someone in leadership that I really appreciate, John Maxwell. I've often heard him talk about the importance of over delivering. I completely agree with his assessment on that. If you do something, do it so well that people feel like whatever they've paid you, that they've gotten a bargain because you've made such a heavy investment in their well-being. So with coaching, with anything you're doing, deliver exceptional value. Number 8 on my list is this: scale your business. Scale it. So how do you scale an online coaching business? Well, you can do that if you start getting to a spot where your marketing is so effective and your name is out there and you've got more people to serve than you actually have time to serve. I would encourage you to start training other coaches and maybe hiring them to work with you and then receive a commission from them because you're promoting their services. You could end up developing a coaching business that isn't just about you trading your time to serve other people, but you could have a network of coaches if your coaching grows beyond your own capacity to meet the needs. You could also create a lot of digital products that'll help you scale your business. A lot of times your coaching clients are going to want additional things from you. I'd also say as much as you can automate as far as booking, billing, anything like that, that's another great tool for scaling your business. All right, number 9 on the list is this: measure and optimize. Measure and optimize. Well, what do I mean by that? Track. So people always use if you've ever heard the initials KPIs, I don't know if you know what that means, but it's just key performance indicators. So if you ever see KPI, it just means key performance indicators. You want to measure your business's success using just key performance indicators. So what's an example of a key performance indicator? Well, look at your client retention. Notice what the rate is. Clients that you serve, are you retaining those clients? Do you have the opportunity to serve them several ways or several times? So what's your client retention rate? What's your conversion rate? When it comes to marketing, the marketing that you're spending time to put out there, does it actually convert into connecting with new clients to serve? So measure that as well. How about revenue growth? You can, watch your revenue grow over time, or maybe you're going to notice a dip over time, or maybe it's going to stay flat. You want to watch what your revenue is doing. Is it growing? Is it staying flat? Is it shrinking? Because it's going to give you some keys on some adjustments you need to make. Kajabi, by the way, I know I talk about Kajabi all the time. I love it. It's got a good revenue growth indicator built into the system, and it shows you how things operate over time, and it gives you those metrics. Another good metric that is useful to measure, and sometimes you just measure this one anecdotally, is client satisfaction. Just ask them for feedback from time to time. Is this a way, like, am I serving you effectively? Am I meeting the need that you actually have, or am I just meeting the need that I think you have? So measure and optimize. And then number 10 on my list is this, and it's more of a mindset, more of a principle, but I think you'll agree that it's probably a good idea, and that's stay committed and adaptable. Things are always changing in the online world. So stay committed to serving people that you're supposed to be serving, but be adaptable when new techniques are developed or new things become popular or new tools become available. Be adaptable. Give those things a try, especially if the clients that you're serving say that it benefits them. Because it's not about you, it's about the people that we're trying to serve. And the better we can serve those that come to us for help, the better everything is going to go. You're going to have a better business. You're going to have more satisfaction in what you're doing, all of that. So be adaptable, but stay committed to what you're doing because things ebb and flow. But stay committed, be adaptable, serve people in a variety of ways using new tools and new techniques. So that's a pretty quick overview of some things that I think are pretty important when you're trying to create an online coaching business. Again, I have to tell you, as someone who has been doing this for years now, I have watched this develop and become such a common and welcomed feature in the online market. Online coaching is becoming so popular. When I first started coaching, it was mostly in person, and then over time it became online, and now at this point, it's actually what people prefer. And the cool thing is, it allows you to reach people from wherever, anywhere they have an internet connection, you can serve them. It doesn't just need to be somebody in your local area. Online coaching is something growing very popular. And by the way, if you listen to podcasts, you've probably noticed that there's a lot of online coaching services or online counseling services that are doing a lot of advertising on podcasts because they know that if people listen to podcasts, they're also checking out other things online, and they're probably more likely to use some form of online coaching or counseling if it gets offered. It's a very popular thing. It's also one of the fastest ways to monetize your online platform. So if you're new at this, this is something that you're brand new at, and you're thinking, how will I ever earn an income online? I would say that this might be one of the most effective things you do early, even before you develop all sorts of products and other services. Very simply, just offering coaching can be a great way to start. And like I said, I know plenty of people who are earning essentially their entire living. Some people are earning a very healthy entire living from the online coaching that they're doing. And I hope that if you have something valuable to help others with, that's something that you'll consider adding to your online platform. And I hope that this blueprint that I just gave you is helpful to you as you try to build an online coaching business. Got a lot more to share. We'll share another time. If you have the opportunity, please stop over at platformlaunchers.com. You can jump in on our membership community. You can find all the resources we have there. I have coaching hours. Happy to coach you if that's something that would be beneficial to you. We have, like I said, our weekly get-together and our members club. We also have courses and things like that are all geared toward helping you build, grow, and monetize your online platform. It's our pleasure to be able to do this. And thanks again for tuning in. Whether you're checking us out via YouTube or via the audio podcast, we're grateful to be able to be with you each and every week. Again, platformlaunchers.com is where to go to get in touch with us and find out more information about what we do. But that's it for us this week. Thanks so much for tuning in. We look forward to this time together with you. We look forward to getting together with you again next week right here. And in the meantime, have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.